Oh, this is terrible. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is so bad. I'm having a mental breakdown right now. So what happened this week? What was so hilarious, comedic, funny, tee haha?
I think for the sake of me, I will not give any detail about my job. Right? Like no details at all. So
but I will. JK.
I was in a situation where I had my I was with a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I was with a kid, and in the span of an hour, this kid scratched my face.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see.
Wait.
It was bleeding.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
No. But it's hard for me to tell that that it isn't like part of the laugh line. Also, I realized too.
Not rude.
Because the light is coming naturally behind you. Like it's not you can still like see yourself, but the lighting definitely affects me more. I look like I'm in a photo shoot.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
I look ugly. Like I hate myself.
Jesus.
Every time I think I haven't watched in entirety any of the reels. Because I'm just like, ugh.
Why you gotta judge people by their physical appearance?
It's me, I'm loud. I was good. So they scratched my face, and then we went to the bathroom. I mean, I accompanied the kids to the bathroom. They pooped on the floor. Proceeded to tell me they wanted to step in it and eat it. Didn't do it, but like put their little toesies on top of it to get a reaction out of me. So in that situation, I have to stay like super still and just be like, "Try me, you little bitch. Step in your poop." Anyway, they didn't do it. And then, but they did stand on the toilet and put their feet in it. And that time I was just like, I've had it. It's a Friday. I'm on a week. It's the weekend in like an hour. So I'm not having this shit. Grabbed them, bonk, and then ran away. Had to chase them. Came back in the bathroom, and that was really a spite them. Like it took them by surprise when they just vomited. In the span of an hour. An hour. I had to deal with all of this. Okay? Scratching, poop on the floor, wanting to eat it, attempting to step in it, putting their feet in the bathroom, running away, puking. This is what I get underpaid for. Anyways. Yeah. I chose the job.
You know what you remind me of? You remind me of those UNICEF commercials.
Why?
You're just like, shit, I feel bad now. You're just enjoying like a nice TV show. You're having a laugh, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, you could help this little child in Africa. And they're all sad and they have like bugs on them. And you're just like, fuck. I feel so sorry for this person.
Am I the child?
Yes.
I'm the person who saw the commercial and decided to do something about it.
And then ended up one of the children. You ended up being part of the commercial too.
It's very entertaining. Like, I get some laughs, and for the plots, obviously, as you can see, it's very nourishing. But it's very draining. Honestly. And affects my face. My precious, beautiful face.
You just said you were ugly. What is it?
Fucking scratched me here, and it hurts too.
It's battle scars. You can look like a badass warrior.
They already scratched my hand like over a month ago, and I still have the scars, so I feel like that's just never gonna go away.
Ever considered scratching back? Ever considered pooing on the floor and threatening them that you're gonna step and eat?
No a thing. I gotta say though, and this is not gonna go on anywhere, but I saw the direct mechanism of the poo being expelled, and it was just really satisfying.
Like, I know what you mean, but still like, fucking gross.
Because they wanted to get a reaction of me, so they were looking at me, and it was just like very clean, Obviously, I had to scoop it out, so I was just like...
With your bare hands.
No, with my bare hands. And once again, came like a nice little scat.
Stop saying that word. It's banned.
It's just like, wait, like a nice, clean little poop, you know? I was like,
I think by definition, poop cannot be clean.
But yeah, I
I regret asking. I'm never gonna ask about your week ever again.
Oh my God.
I say this pretty much every time. I admire your conviction. Not your conviction, but just like because it doesn't feel like you're forcing to like deal with it. You're just like,
no.
It's kind of like, it's more passive. It's like, you know what? It could be worse.
There's something like I like the challenge of going through something like that.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like there's somebody clearly challenging you. They're clearly doing this to get something out of you, and you have to get on top of your own emotion, get on top of your desire to slap them, or just like, you know, I don't know. I like the challenge. It's like when the kids hit me.
That's insane.
And then you have to like, I have to be strong, and I have to be like, okay, no, you're done. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? I
well,
like that challenge.
There's something empowering of just like, especially you being such a weak person. Itsy bitsy. Oh, what did you say? Itsy bitsy girl.
I'm so tiny.
I could imagine it's kind of empowering just to stand up and look those children in the eyes at eye level. Sorry.
I was literally gonna say it's good to finally be taller than somebody and take advantage of that.
Oh yeah? What's the rate of that? What's the rate of you being actually taller?
Listen, actually my kids are all pretty young.
Yeah.
So they're a lot smaller than me. Except two of them who are teenagers and they're way bigger. And I do struggle with them hitting me.
That's KO! Oh my God, dude. That's a felony right there. That's a full-on assault.
I know. Oof. I know.
Damn, it's insane that it boggles my mind. Because
there's also the thing where like I'm doing this, my job, the whole purpose of my job is to get them to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's also like my challenge is I'm gonna have to go through this, but my goal is to see this behavior decrease and like find ways to make sure they don't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you start seeing like progress as well.
Yeah.
I think that could be very satisfying. I would just, would like to take on different challenges.
No.
Honestly, like.
You will be a terrible employee.
You think I'd like. It's like, oh yeah, you want to take a shot on the floor? Watch this. Yeah. I'll show you my mechanism. And that's where I get arrested right then and there. Yep. For public indecency.
And
well, officer, he did it first. I have like there's nothing I could. It's such especially because my immediate reaction is just to double down on whatever is being said in the bit. I can't double down on pedophilia. No, that's just the worst. I get actually arrested. One of the two people that are gonna watch this are gonna be like, "I'm a cop."
Did anyone comment? No.
No. It's just likes. Lilith commented like 7 times on the second episode, which was really nice. No,
Why?
she was she was doing timestamps. Like she would be like at this timestamp and have a comment for.
No way.
Yeah. It was really nice.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Where Instagram or TikTok?
The full second episode. She watched the entirety
of
the second
way.
episode. Yeah.
So YouTube?
Me too?
No, so YouTube. YouTube then.
Oh, YouTube, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, me too, what? Yeah, of course I watched it. I edited the entire thing. I was also there. Like, of course I was there. No, it's not a bad one.
I'll go read that.
Yeah, you can read it. Wait, we can read it when we all watch it, because I really want to... You brought up
watched it already.
I think she would like to watch it again. Honestly,
I think we should watch another one that we haven't seen.
I
But no
don't.
one.
Okay, maybe
Has you ever seen?
the next one, the audience one, I don't think is ever gonna come out.
No.
Like I fear when I'm gonna have to like when I'm looking for another episode for the week and I'm just like, okay, let's open this.
No.
It's just
don't.
4 hours of being like, oh.
No, actually, do not delete it. I don't think there's anything worth.
I could probably make
anyway.
I could probably make some little reels off of it, and I don't know. I feel like it could be like one of those secret episodes, like the Lost episodes. You know, when shows do that, the Lost episodes, like the one that was like too terrible to air.
See the little bits, the little secret bits. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh yeah, and then they unsubscribe immediately to see how much of a mess it was.
You
Thing-
need consent from everyone then.
So today I wanted to talk about fucking half an hour in to bring up the subject. I want to talk about insecurities.
Got the right person here.
Yeah, because I had a few interactions in recency where I came to the realization that I obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I have like my fair share of insecurities. But for the most part, I don't mind talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there's quite a few people that would rather take a shit on the floor, step in it, and threaten to eat it,
And eat it.
before talking about their insecurities.
Okay.
So first, where do you stand? Like, do you mind entertaining a conversation about insecurities, or absolutely not?
No, I don't mind.
You
I
don't
have
mind.
a shit ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that I think mostly the reason why I would not want to share about some of them is like the irrational fear in my mind that that the other person will just be like, huh, hadn't noticed that. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that
Definitely.
once. Because I've worn glasses for a very, very, very long time, and I brought this up, and it wasn't insecurity before. Now I kind of accepted it, but I have like acne scars on the side here, right?
I've never noticed.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody ever has until I bring it up. So I'm just like,
barely even see it anyway.
yeah. Well, especially with the glasses on, because it kind of like covers it. And then like this one person I told, she was like, oh. Well, she pretty much just reacted the same way. Never noticed. But now I do. And I'm just like, rats. God damn. But now, it's my face. And I think when I was saying like it, like I just learned to accept it, like it just goes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my biggest insecurities is definitely like my body.
Yeah.
And even having lost a lot of weight in the last year or so, and even beforehand, I still like don't feel comfortable. Like I went to Calypso this summer. What is it? Or
Yeah.
Oh, it's a water park.
Okay.
So I went to Calypso, and the entire time like I was wearing a shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I don't feel it's not just the weight. One, I think at that time I still had like some loose skin a bit, like not as much like if I were like 400 pounds or something, but at least it was noticeable for me. It's weird to have like some definition here, and then it's just like it's just like just at the bottom. It's just weird. I maybe it's just me being too critical, but I see that I'm just like there's a disconnect. It's so weird. There's that. I'm also hairier than I would like, and
I mean, there's a very easy solution to that.
yeah, but there's still, you could probably relate to, because just having black hair you can still see it. And there's also like some sort of stigma about like guys shaving too. It is what it is. But it's just like all of that accumulated together. It's just like, you know what? I should also say I'm a bit more judgmental when it comes to like presenting yourself, I'm kind of thinking like, oh, is this what I want to show people? Like in the same sense, like I like to dress up in what I think looks nice, and I wouldn't want to go around like in sweats and just like, you know, without a sense of fashion. Not because I don't want, not in the vacuum like, oh, I just want to look fashionable. It's just like I just want to present myself in a pleasing to the in an aesthetic way. And in my head, my body is not aesthetically pleasing, so I don't want to like show that off. You know, it's kind of like if I make a nice drawing, or if I make like a shitty drawing, and I'm not going to share it. You know, I don't want to like post it to show the world. Right. And I'll keep it to myself. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah. But despite that, despite being like a very present insecurity, I don't care if people like make fun of, you know, if like I'm going around, I don't know, my love handle just shows up or whatever, and they're just like, wow, nice love handles. I'd be like, thanks. They're natural, you know. You want to grab it? No. But like, I don't care. Like you can actually be hostile towards me about like my body, and it wouldn't. Not that it wouldn't affect me. Like I don't care. You can literally come up to me and be like, "Look at you, little skinny, fat, fucking pudgy, weird, little chubby, oddly shaped torso, motherfucker, weird ass length legs." And I'm just like, "Yeah, dude, I've done this to myself in front of the mirror so many times. You cannot hurt me." Yeah. You know. I think that's the thing, and yeah, I think I didn't really think about this, but like, talking about it now, it's a weird disconnect where I'm just like, I really don't care, but I do at the same time. You know, I feel like that's actually something that I have to think about now. Like talking about it now, I'm just like, that is kind of weird. There's a few things too. I think I've told you as well. Like the insecurity that will actually like hurt me the most is the two things: is if someone says I come off like I'm trying too hard, and that I'm not funny. Yeah. So wombo combo that together, and you say like, dude, why are you trying so hard to be funny? I'm just like, oh.
And that's because you think that you're deeply funny.
I make myself laugh. I make myself laugh. I think the biggest thing is like it hurts me a bit if people don't find my humor funny. You see that whenever we're like at little gatherings, I'll throw in some dumbass punchlines and jokes here and there, and I will not get laughs. People will just look at me like, there goes Jay again, just doing something. And I think I told you about this, but Val and I, we had a little conversation, and she was very much like, I don't understand how you can do that. How you can just say a joke, not get a single reaction, and just keep going. And I'm just like, yeah, well, it wasn't always like that. I think you know this too. It's like when an awkward situation arises, you kind of have to have like a little escape plan, you know? I think usually what I'll say is like something along the lines of, if I say like a joke and nobody reacts, I'll say something along the lines like, oof, tough crowd, you know? Something like there's still, you could still like,
I feel like it's, I don't know. Do people react like good to that? It makes them
it's a flip of a coin. Honestly, my goal is not necessarily to get like those one like big laughs. It's very much just to have the overall vibes, I guess, be augmented. It's just like, because my one thing I noticed a while back is like my goal when it comes, or a prominent goal or a preeminent goal, if you will, when it comes to interpersonal. That's one of my insecurities. And we'll talk about it all the time until you no longer care. Is when I'm in. Therapy. Yes, exactly. One of my goals when it comes to like interpersonal relations or just like communicating with people is very much just to break what I find is unnecessary tension. And if I could say some dumbass shit, and like even though like some people are really fucking funny, like whatever they say is gonna make the entire crowd laugh. Like Shane,
I was literally gonna say that.
Shane is one of those people that because he's a great storyteller, and he's very quick and he's charismatic. You know, he's got all of those. And I think I've talked to you before. I get intimidated by that. Not in that like, oh fuck this guy, like he's my rival. It's just like when he's in the room, I'm just like, I'm thinking like, how do I follow up with that? It's just like, it's like he does like a full on breakdance routine with a crew, and I'm just like, I'm gonna tap dance for y'all. You know, it's like not on the same level.
Right.
But even I feel like that exposure therapy, honestly, like through the years, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Maybe if I say something funny, then that's fine. I'll just, you know, keep going until it finally lands. Still waiting for that moment. But yes. So one of my biggest things is just to relieve the tension. So even though I don't get like that one laugh, like that one big laugh after a joke, I feel like the fact that I'm so like kind of goofy, nonchalant, like chill, if you will, I would want to believe that puts people at ease, and it just like dissipates the tension.
But also, what's the word? When a situation is awkward, acknowledging the awkwardness makes it less awkward. I feel like
it depends how you do it.
Yeah, well, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, when people say like, "This is awkward,"
No, that's not.
Like that, it really depends on who you're talking. I really think like it's all about delivery for pretty much anything. Like you could talk about the most like sensitive topics as well, as long as you approach it with the required tone, delivery, all that vehicle. I think you can make it work. And same thing for like calling out awkward situations. Just like, oh boy, that was awkward. You know, you can have fun with it. But yeah. So your insecurity about not being able to, is this something, because
I mean, I'm not actually that insecure about it.
What's something that you're really insecure?
Oof.
Share. Give us
First
some
of all,
juiciness.
I'd like to say that physically wise, no, that's a double thing. That's a double. You can't say, you say like physique wise, right? You don't say physically wise because it's the same thing.
I think you would say physically.
So, I think like if you name, and I realize that it's not normal to be like that. But I think like I can name one thing I hate about like every single like little part of my body.
Right.
Like my ears, my eyebrows, my left pinky finger. You know what I mean? I can name like one thing I hate about every single little part of my body.
What's wrong with your ears?
Actually no, I lied.
Yeah, I know. Because you told me once you're just like, I think my ears are the only thing that are okay with my entire body. And I'm just like, so you're hiding them with a bunch of piercings. Gotcha. It looks nice.
I'm appalled right now because my piercings are
they're
one
awesome.
of the things that make my ears beautiful.
Oh, I thought you're talking they're like au naturel.
Au naturel, yeah. It's not that I like them, it's just like they're normal shaped.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with them. They're just like the most normal ears ever. And they're prettier because they have little tiki tiki tiki. Even though they're a bitch. And I lost one in the shower yesterday.
Why are you wearing? Okay, yeah.
What?
No, I'm not a piercing guy, so of course you're gonna wear your piercings in the shower.
I never take any of them off. I have 12. Imagine if every time I have to take all of them off.
Yeah, that'd be a terrible.
Yeah.
You take like 3 showers a day.
I only remove. No, but like.
No, you don't.
No, that's annoying. Even I used to take them out for Starbucks because we weren't allowed.
Yeah. The siren.
So annoying, yeah, the siren. The only piercing I would change is the first, like the bottom one, when I want to change earrings. Otherwise, they stay here the whole time. I've always. Oh, that's too much. Anyway.
Yeah. You didn't. Okay. Actually, you did.
I know insecurities. I have so many. I have so many. So many.
Are these? Well, okay. Physically speaking, are all of these things that should not be talked about? Like you'd rather not talk, like
No.
it be mentioned, and
I don't like most. I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't mind.
you don't mind, or you just like shove it down, like it doesn't affect you at all?
I mean, I don't feel great about it.
Would you prefer that people don't talk about it?
When I'm not there, definitely.
But if you're there,
no, I don't mind. I don't mind. Because it's also, I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I try to. Because when I'm going to talk about it, I try to have an objective point of view and take a step back. Because I'm very much aware that a lot of these insecurities are like irrational, or they're like, sparked from somewhere that's not. Like, I shouldn't be even comparing myself to certain.
Kim Kardashian.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't compare myself to her. I don't like her.
Neither do I.
But
I like her. I don't compare. I don't know who she is, honestly.
I bet.
Yeah.
But like, so the more I try to talk about it with objectivity,
yeah,
the more I'm gonna convince myself, like, oh, what you're thinking is bullshit, and move on.
Well, in all reality, I think you can still acknowledge that there's something that you dislike about, well, something within yourself or of yourself, and just I hate to just like put it under just one word, but just like learn to accept it.
Yeah.
Like, again, the scars thing, even though it could be fixed and people like don't notice it, like I know that, but like it's still there, and in my head, like eventually they'll notice, especially if I walk around without my glasses or anything like that. Same thing, like I talked to you about a while back about like my anxiety and how I don't come off as someone who's very, very anxious. It's still there, and even though I have like people objectively like helping me, not objectify, but helping me compartmentalize, I guess. For anxiety, it's like, well, it's there. I can't ignore that. I can't brainwash myself into saying like, oh, it's not true. It's like, no, I'm crying on the inside, But you have to give me a second to get back my train of thought. As a forewarning, a very early forewarning, definitely not in the middle of the episode. We're both very, very tired. Our gears are running slow.
I've been yawning so many times.
Well, that's just because she finds me boring, but another insecurity I have.
I try not to yawn until I make like a face like.
You can yawn, dude. It's fine. I'll make a funny bit out of it.
Also, goes like I'm smiling and I'm laughing, and when you do that, your body just like
has a fucking aneurysm.
What?
What the hell was that? What does that mean?
It's like when I laugh a lot, whether I'm tired or not. Like when I stay in a smiling position a lot.
I'm just like, what if you're smiling and you yawn, but you still want to maintain a smile? You're just like, you're like.
It's what I've been doing the whole time. Check the footage.
That's hilarious, dude.
But it's like metacognition ish. So your body is like,
oh, like
it's in a state where it's ready to yawn, and so your body's like, oh, okay, let's yawn.
Yeah, and you sneak some in. I haven't noticed. You're a really sneaky little.
Good at it.
Sorry, you're not little. My bad. Physically, you are so tall compared to ants.
So this is one of my biggest insecurities.
Their shortness?
Yeah.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Do
you think I go through life happy being small? Honestly.
There's some benefits. You can fit into small spaces.
Yeah, and this is what everyone tells me, and I'm gonna ask you something. When have I ever needed to fit in a small thing?
It probably happens more than you realize. Like, I am happy with being the height that I am. Because I see dudes having to, bow respectfully every time they have to enter a doorway. Sometimes there's, beams at the Trois Brasseurs on Saint Denis. There's like beams on the second floor.
Okay, boo-hoo. When you walk once in a whatever,
it fucking hurts.
You're gonna have to like and be aware of your surroundings. Men have.
Yeah, you don't have to be aware. At least there's an entire like area, a fucking area, like a plane of existence that you just don't have to acknowledge at all, and that is anything above 5 feet. Sorry, I'm right though.
Yes, but it's so. I hate you.
Sorry.
But speaking of plane, that is one area that I'm for it. For which being small is an advantage, for sure.
Yeah.
But also, only because I take the plane a lot, which I do not condone, and I apologize to the planet for it. But I do take the plane a lot, and it's very good, because I can literally do any position and I can sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'll be like this, I'll put the table down, and I'll put my feet like this in front of me, and I'm like... or like, above the seats, I'm like this, and I'm like... or like this, and I hold my knees like this, and I'm like...
You're one of those weirdos on the fucking plane. I don't go on the plane a lot.
But because I look like a kid, it's fine. Because it's not like, oh, this grown woman is folding herself.
It doesn't matter. This person who is alone, unsupervised, is just taking over. And I know you're kicking off your shoes. I know 100% you're kicking off your shoes.
Duh.
Yeah. And then and then you're like falling asleep, like fucking legs up top like that. And there's just a person just like, right next to you, and then you like have a bad dream, or you have like, you know, and then you just like fall, and like now you're, and then your feet, you are unconscious. You don't know. Maybe the person's just like, oh what? You know, that's something I would do.
It has never happened. I can say it would.
Yeah, you don't know.
Like I'm sure it didn't.
You're probably a heavy sleeper.
But it is. But it's the only advantage. Honestly, I mean, probably not, but. The negative definitely outweighs the positive. At least before I did a lot of work on myself and was like, okay, you know, let's be positive. Accept yourself like you are, you know. You know. But until I was maybe 19, I hated it.
Which was an age ago.
And when I was
so old.
When I was a little teenager, and we all know when we're teenagers, we're very dramatic. Everything seems like it's like 10 times bigger than what it actually is.
Never heard of it.
I still like you still go through all these things, right? Like It is bigger than reality, but your reality, it's that big, you know. And I used to think it's gonna sound so dramatic now that I like say it. But back then I was like, being small literally feels like I'm handicapped. The only difference is people do not hold back when they want to make fun of me. Because for them it's not like an actual problem. Like you would make fun of somebody who's handicapped, but you make fun of me. You know what I mean? That's how I was feeling back then. Do not. Normal people do not make fun of handicapped people.
I think normal people should.
A lot of people, but you know what I mean?
How dare you say normal people?
No. Normal people with a normal amount of empathy. So women. Keep this on.
Yeah, no. We're keeping this on. I'm trying to get you canceled. Your internet is a savage place.
It's gonna be so easy. I'm gonna get so much hate from man. Oh, I can't wait.
It's okay, we'll balance it out. I'll get hate from women. I'll say something misogynist. Get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. JK, you don't even know how to make a sandwich.
You know, if ever we get famous, I'll start a cooking show.
You mean a baking show where you just make the same cookies over and over again?
And it's from the mix. And I still fuck up because they end up being flat. I tried like so many things the other day. I put like 2 eggs. I put some baking powder, way more than I should have. I tried popping them back in the oven after they were already cooked.
Why? Dude, the thing with baking is you must follow the instructions.
I followed. You add an egg in the butter. But it's
you did something wrong.
Room temperature, and I melted it. Whatever, you know.
You gotta let it rest. Little mini chocolate chip pancakes, you know.
It's too hot. It's taking chocolate.
It's too hot? Or too hard?
Anyways, so when I was a teenager, that's what I used to think. Which, when I think about it now, I'm like, wow, it's very dramatic. But it's very sad. Because that's how I used to feel back then. And I'm like, wow, you were miserable. Because, like, everyone, they do not hold back. They do not hold back. And they don't mean to, like, it was not bullying, okay? It was just, like, my friends making fun of me because hee haha.
Like, it's the same way I do it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Times 10, probably. Because you really don't do it that much. Or maybe I'm so, like, numb to it that, like, I don't even notice.
Well, listen, if I see you, like, trying to reach up for something, I'm gonna say something. You're just like, I'm like, must suck having dwarfism.
It's always been like, and I know that's like a very pick-me thing to do, but be like, okay, how me grab it?
Oh, don't talk ever like that. That didn't make me feel good.
I think like that was the only one thing that could like.
You having trouble with that?
No.
I'm
very artistic about how I open my package.
Like no ripping, just.
Yeah. I'm really mad about this.
I know you dissed opening like Pokemon cards and stuff like that. I think you actually really much enjoy it.
What about?
Like opening the Pokemon card packs.
I've never done it.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy it. Like just the satisfaction of just like perfectly opening it and then sliding the cards perfectly out.
Okay, but the thing is like, it's supposed to be opened with care. This is not supposed to be opened with care, which makes it like even more complicated.
I don't think it's supposed to be opened with care. Most people are just like, oh, I'm gonna get a shiny, you know.
Okay. Well, when you eat those, I want to open them. Because I also want to keep the package intact.
Yeah, I'll open the horse.
So I can laminate it and make it into a coaster.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Like,
you would like it?
Like, are you gifting it to me, or like, would I like the idea? I think the idea is cool.
Because I already have so many of them and nobody wants them.
But like, how'd you do it? Do you like a gel or something? Like what?
I have a laminator. So like the plastic sheets, you put it inside and then you put it in the machine and then it heats it and then it's laminated.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause one day.
Bunch of chocolate bars.
I had the Buenos.
Oh yeah.
And then. The wrapping is cool because there's a part that's transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, let me do them. And I was eating them, laminating. And so I have like 20. And one day I just came home and I was like, Fabian, here, 20 coasters.
Wait, you have one bag per coaster?
What?
Like one little sachet per coaster?
Yeah. Because they're individual buenos like this.
Yeah, but why don't you just, like, put, like, a bunch?
What?
Make, like, a little mosaic of it, kind of. Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm confused. I don't understand what you
Well, maybe I don't know, like, what exactly you're doing, but, like, in my head, you have this plastic, and then you infuse the wrapper into the plastic, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
What if you... And it's a see-through plastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you, like, put a bunch, and it becomes just, like, a... And it's hard, right? It's not flimsy?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is flimsy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not plastic. Oh, wait. Ziploc bags.
What?
In my head, plastic is really rigid.
No.
Oh, I have gifts to give you afterwards.
It's literally like... It's like, I don't know.
That's
it's
paper.
Like, it's for papers. They're still like...
You'll just have to show me. Yeah. I think it's a cool idea. I would make a mosaic of it.
I make these flats. Oh shit. No.
Terrible.
I know. I put the plastic sheet, laminate it, and now this is flat, not hard, but it's flat. And then here, like 20 of those.
I would humbly accept it if you did like a little mosaic.
Why do
I think
you need a mosaic?
Like it's just like a bunch.
It could be decoration also. And just put it here, and it's cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have pictures of it.
It'd be cool, like, if you have, like, a bunch just, like, stacked onto each other, you know?
But what do you mean stacked on? You
like,
wouldn't see them.
They're just, like...
Oh, like a little pattern.
Yeah, because I saw this thing where some people... You know how a lot of people like to put a bunch of stickers on their laptops?
Mm-hmm.
There are some people where they have, like, a piece of furniture, like, I don't know, like a bookshelf or something like that. And they just, like, put all their stickers there through the years, and it just becomes, like... like a wallpaper almost of just like a bunch of stick. I don't know. It's complete waste, but it's, I don't know, it's aesthetically pleasing to me.
Okay.
So just seeing like a bunch just like.
So you would like that with everything?
Yeah. Yeah. Put all the nice chocolates.
All the like. Wait, I have a container? I'll do it with this. This is broken, but I'll hide it under them.
Well, it doesn't have to be immediate. If you're eating Buenos or whatever chocolate, you get your.
I rarely do that.
Your.
Because I'm a clean person. Clean and healthy person.
I don't believe you.
I don't know why I say clean. I was very.
A healthy person drinks their milk and grows to be. Get over it.
Rude.
Sorry, my bad. So.
I think I'm therapizing myself.
You know, I say that shit, and everybody's just like, "No, you can't therapize yourself."
Yes, you can. 100%.
I believe so.
I'm insane right now. That's crazy.
Well, don't you get that? Like when you mention like, oh yeah, I kind of like have my own like little self therapy ritual thing. Like most people are gonna be like, like they look at you funny. Mm-hmm. You're just like,
they're like sus.
Sus. How about you go to an actual professional?
Yeah.
You know.
There are certain things, yeah, you have to, because the root is like deeper than you might even be conscious of, or I don't know, like sometimes you don't have the right words, or like you don't know what the best.
Yeah, I think for most cases, because it's hard for me to be convinced that I should go because I'm passively thinking, one might think a bit too deeply into things at all times. You know, you mentioned before, like, oh, you had like a conversation or even like a debate with someone, and then you'll go back home and then you'll be like, there's all of these things I could have said. Mm-hmm. You know, I and maybe you do this too, but I do that just on a regular basis, and it's not like out of regret or anything. It's just like, you know, when I was talking about like every time a decision is made, like it sprouts into different branches of like outcomes, I guess, and those outcomes branch into it. You know, I start entertaining those branches, if you will. So it's when I do that, and I think I do a relatively thorough. I try to be very objective about it. I try to think like, okay, what is something that I might not be thinking about, but the thing is usually I easily make connections. But because of that, I'm not convinced just yet that it would be very beneficial for me to go to therapy. Because for one, I don't feel like I have my little dips and stuff like that, but oftentimes like I know where they're coming from. It's just like, it's kind of a challenge just to like remedy it or like do something to ease the pain, if you will. Mm-hmm. But I usually end up being fine. Like I don't think my problems are that big. Not big, but like heavy. Mm-hmm. And if they are, I think I'm in a position to be able to carry them relatively adequately. So when people come up to me and say like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, go to therapy. And I'm just like, fine, convince me, you know? And I think it's harder because people, I don't know how true it is, but I'm just going to say how I feel. People really have no idea where I'm coming from oftentimes. So the only way you could convince me of such is if you labeled me super accurately and be like, so this is what you do, this is how you think, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true, and you say, this, I see this as a problem, or / this as a potential problem, and when I say, oh shit, yeah, and when I think like, yeah, I don't see how I can avoid those problems, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe I should see a professional. Mm-hmm. Did any of what I just said make any sense? Yeah. Okay. So, but it hasn't really happened so far. And maybe I'm trying too hard to convince myself that I should go to therapy. Maybe that's a sign in itself. But no. But I'm curious, how do you come from a similar place? Because I think when we first met, well, not in the first meeting, but like when we first had like an actual talk, we did talk about therapy. And I don't really remember exactly how the conversation went, but I was surprised. I don't know why, but I felt surprised that you were against your own therapy. Or in the sense like you didn't seem too interested in going to therapy yourself.
As somebody who studied psychology.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing too, but that's weird because I feel like people that study psychology are also going to be like the pioneers of trying to get everybody into therapy, you know? Which I find psychology extremely interesting. I think psychology is probably the most interesting thing that I think above everything else. And I would probably be like the first person to, if someone comes to me with a problem and they're just like, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I don't feel too comfortable giving advice to people because I don't know how effective it's going to be. And I feel like I'd feel responsible if they did something and it fucked it up even more. So I usually be the first one to be like, you know, maybe you should consider some professional help. In the same way, like, I dropped out twice. If someone comes up to me like, oh, like, school is tough, should I drop out? I'm like, fuck no. If you have to come to me, of all people, and ask me whether or not it's a good idea, you need some guidance. Like, I feel like decisions like that, if you have to ask and you're completely lost, then maybe that's probably the route you have to go. You know? So yeah, I don't... I had a point, but I completely forgot what it was. Give me a second. I'm not going to cut this out. We're going to see my tired, fatigue thought process. It doesn't matter if it takes 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if it takes an hour. You guys are going to sit with me in this awkwardness. See? Called it out. Do you feel less awkward or more awkward?
More awkward. I feel awkward. I feel like it's like that every fucking time.
Aww.
I feel like this is the last time. I'm kidding.
Aww.
Think.
Okay.
Ponder.
I think... Okay, well, actually, I guess I just want to hear more your opinion on it. Like you said, you're interested in psychology, but you also agree that, like, most people that would study psychology... This is just my hypothesizing. I don't know if this is actually true, but in my experience, most people that study psychology also think it's good for themselves to go to therapy. And why? I guess what I'm asking is, why is that different for you?
So I think it's important to go to therapy when you're aiming to be a clinical psychologist.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with cases where you have to be objective about a situation and you can't be biased by your own experience and the way you feel about yourself. So it's really important. But if you're doing something like my line of work, or if you're doing, I don't know, like neuropsychology, or if you're doing, like, it's not, you're following like very specific procedures where your own experience, blah blah, like, it's not gonna get like in the way. You know what I mean?
Well, I would argue that, especially in your situation, like, in a vacuum, you tell people about your situation, they'll be like, yeah, I would probably need some therapy to help with the burden a bit.
Well, okay, I see what you mean. But in that case, it's very, like, if your job is affecting you, then yeah, you should go. But what I meant is, there are certain jobs where you have to constantly be in therapy to make sure you're a good psychologist.
Oh, right.
That's what I meant.
You're talking about more like policy wise, almost like just like a checkup.
Yeah.
I'm wording it weirdly, but I think I understand what you mean. Well, that implies that they don't necessarily Because it's almost like they're forced to go into it, right? Is what you're saying?
No, because you have to be. Because if you're not able to deal with people's lives, with their feeling, with what's in their head, without putting in your part of like experience, personality, blah blah, then you have to make sure like you're ready to take a step back.
Right.
Because I don't know, like you could be dealing with some very like heavy situations or heavy stories, and if you're not okay in your head, then it's harder. And like psychologists, they're humans, you know, like they have their own share of traumas or whatever. So I just think like it's really important when you're a clinical psychologist to be in therapy.
But like this realm kind of feels like it feels more forced than like.
Then I think
I need to, yeah.
I see what you mean. I do.
But in my experience, well, first of all, most of the people I've talked to, they're not in line to go into clinical psychology. It's very much just general therapy, sociology, that type of stuff. And also sociology.
Clinical psychology is when you do like the regular, like what everyone thinks, like you're sitting and then you're talking to someone. It's just like the normal, like the sofa and then listening to someone.
No, because if I'm not mistaken, clinical. Well, maybe I'm completely confused, but
maybe it's not the same thing in French and English. But when we call clinical psychology, it's that. It's like the normal, like what everyone. Like what any regular people, I mean, the kind of psychologist that any person would go see.
Well, my takeaway from clinical psychology, like it implies medical intervention. Like it implies a remedy of sorts. Like there's a problem, we got to fix it. I feel that's different from just like your everyday therapy session, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's confusing things.
Well, like we don't. You're not. It's just like the term that is being used, like the term within that like domain. Okay, that's how we call it.
Maybe I have to look back into it.
Regular people, they just call them psychologists, but we call them like clinical psychologists, which is not the same from, I don't know, like health psychologists or like work psychologists.
I think I'll have to read back into it because it's a bit far from me because I remember just like knowing quite a bit about like all the different branches, and there's like a disconnect there, so maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, but
the subject is also clinical psychology, like the subject of just like somebody's coming in and they say this and that, what do you think is happening, like
maybe I'm wrong on that. So you're saying you're not coming from
you might not be wrong, but I'm definitely not wrong. I'm just gonna say that.
the amount of times while being recorded you were wrong.
What?
Yeah, you're more wrong than you think, especially when I'm around because I'm a fucking fountain of knowledge.
Okay, but what was I saying? Like, I'm not wrong.
No, you'll see.
Was I saying I'm not wrong? Because if I don't say I'm not wrong about this, then yeah, sure, I can be wrong. But when I
feel like you don't have. What?
When I'm sure about something, I'll say like I'm not wrong. Because about this subject, I know I'm not wrong because I literally studied it for 4 years.
Yeah, but you can forget, or you can. Oh, you also studied it in French.
You think I'll forget? Because it's like it's your subjects. That's like if you said, no, you're confusing physics and chemistry. Like to me.
No, that's not. No. Physics and chemistry are super different.
I know, but that's what it feels like to me right now because that's what I study. Like to me, there's no way I'm confusing.
Well, no, it's like you can study general physics and I don't know how you would confuse these, but like I don't know, confuse. No. I'm trying to go back to my physics classes and remember certain things. All that comes to mind is just refraction. Refraction and lenses, but that's pretty much. Oh no, you know what, I don't remember jack shit off of my physics classes, so I'm not going to say anything. Okay, you're right.
That's how it feels to me.
Right.
To me they're very, very like different things.
Yeah.
Because I had to like, we made choices in like which branch you want to go. And like at first I thought I wanted to go to clinical psychology, and I realized that's not for me. Clinical psychology is where you study Freud and like all these bitches.
Why didn't that?
Actually, he's more like psychoanalysis, but
Yeah. Well, okay. Now it's all like
line.
amalgamizing. Like,
clinical psychology and psychoanalysis, they're kind of like hee besties.
but
like,
what are you like? Where you did, if I may, behavior psychology, or what did you do?
I did ABU. It's applied behavioral analysis.
So what's the difference about
It's a big difference though.
In between like an analyst and because maybe I have to cut this out, but you're a therapist technically.
Yeah, not technically. I am.
Yeah, so
But you could be like.
What does therapist mean?
It's a nothing name. It's nothing. Like
fuck you, all you therapists, you're nothing.
No, it could
you,
be like
you're
you
nothing.
can use it for everything. Like you're allowed to be a therapist for literally anything.
I'm an AI therapist.
You could, yeah.
Okay, well, what does therapist mean?
Therapy is you work in the work of you work in a line of care and health.
That makes sense.
It doesn't mean you're having therapy sessions.
Yeah. I guess I've homogenized therapy with very much that section of it, and thinking about like, just any physical therapy. It's very much, it's just care. Oh, that's interesting. Never thought about it.
Because you could be like, I'm thinking about something stupid. I don't know, like.
You often are.
Wavelength therapist, and then you're just like putting crystal around people. You know what I mean? You can use this.
Crystals.
There's no like, there's no. You don't get. What's it called? Like to be a psychologist, you need a specific. Like it's a title. Do you know what I mean? It's an official title. Therapist is not an official title.
I don't know what that means.
It means you don't have to go through a specific,
like at all?
A specific way to get to being a therapist. It's literally just a little name to say you're giving care in a specific domain. And a domain can be literally anything.
So it's very much just specific to like job titles, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I understand.
And there's also like, there's a, what's it called in English? Like is it an order? Because in French it's ordre. So like for psychologists, there's like like people who decide the rules, who decide like
it's probably like
specific like.
It's like an association.
Yeah, an association. Then you're recognized. You have like a number. It's a specific title. Yeah. Like physiotherapist, occupational therapist, like, things like that. But a therapist, it's nothing.
It's general.
Not to belittle my.
it's general.
It's very general. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything.
All right, you're just double downing on. It's fuck all, guys.
It is.
But I'm curious, what made you change to not want to pursue clinical psychology?
So that, because I wanted to do that before I even started uni. I was like, that's what I want to do. And then I realized that it's not made for everyone. There's a big part of who you are as a person that makes you compatible with that job or not.
And what was the incompatibility within your own?
It's also about what I want to do. Like, I don't necessarily want to sit with people and listen to their problem. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I'd be good at it. Because it's a lot of listening to me. In the end, it's because when you don't study in it, it sounds like it's very abstract and you have to think, blah, blah. But when you're in classes, it sounds like we're being giving all of the solutions, and then you have the situation, you kind of have to find like which solution it is.
Yeah, it's like a use case type of thing.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not sure I'd be able to like do that.
Like on a technical side, or
yeah,
like
because in reality it's a lot harder. It's not just like all of these types and then you have to connect it to one of the like cases you studied, and like people are specific individuals, and then they all have their different little factors that make them different. And I was just like, I'm not sure I'd be able to, first of all, take the responsibility of saying I can help you and I will, and be able to help them, because it's a lot, and I just didn't want that.
Do you still
Second
feel?
of all, when I started university, I was very, very, very like socially anxious, and I was like, there's no way you can even talk to someone I don't know. So I was like, why?
Are both of those things still true today?
Yeah, the social anxiety part, no, not as much as before, that's for sure. Still a little, but not as much. And for the rest, yeah, I'm just like, I don't feel like I would be good.
Really?
Because I can see with my friends, I'm like, I don't necessarily give them good advice. I'm not always, like, I don't always know what to tell them. I don't always know, because it's not about, like, being a psychologist is not about giving you the solution. It's more walking with you to the solution and then finding out together. You know slightly before, like, which way you have to take, but you don't see the end either. But I don't necessarily I don't know how to do that always with my friends either. So like, I don't know why I would with strangers. Because your friends, you know them with more than what they just tell you, because you see them on a daily basis. But strangers, you just have what they tell you. Yeah, and then you have a little bit of their behavior about what too, but you have a lot less information, and I'm like, there's no way.
Well, I think that's why it goes on it goes through several sessions of just really figuring out who that person is. Yeah. It might sound a bit disconnected, but I'll tie it back in. Do you consider yourself an intuitive person?
Not that much.
Really? Like.
Sometimes I mean, it's very, like, I'll be next to somebody and I'm like, they don't see this. Like, they're really not that they're really dumb. But I'm like, it seems really obvious to me. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like, I chose psychology, so I must have something that makes me more prone to be in that field. But then I'm also like, I have no idea what people think. I don't know.
What's any examples come to mind about like something that would be like very obvious? I should stop doing that. It's not good for the sound. But very obvious. Like, is there a situation that comes to mind immediately when you think of like, oh, this is obvious. Why are people so dumb? They can't even recognize it. No,
because they're all specific cases.
Oh, I see.
Where like something happened and I was like, oh, that person's clearly feeling like that, and the others are like,
Well, I don't know. I feel like most people would not be so confident in saying someone is clearly feeling some way, or if they are, they're most likely inaccurate. Like there's a lot of times where I'm talking to people just like, oh yeah, this is definitely what they're thinking. I'm like, I wouldn't be so sure, you know. Do you think? Actually, another question. Do you think your rate of being right upon like your assumptions, let's say, do you think you have a high rate of success in that? I could reword it. I worded it weird. Did you understand my question? Yeah. You say it's
like the times that I think I know how somebody feels.
Yeah, and you're right.
Are they? Yeah. Pretty often, which is why.
Doesn't that say anything?
Which is why I'm like I'm not, but I'm like in the average. I'm not like better.
I don't know. Some people are pretty dense.
But
drags. Some people are very dense, and it drags the average down.
Is dense the word we're using?
Listen, you said dumb
very
and then completely rich.
Sorry, yeah.
You're welcome. No shit. I meant psychologically dense.
I don't know. I'm not bad. I'm not very good.
Do you think like someone?
Sorry.
Fucking diva over here.
Here's the thing. It usually seems very obvious to me.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I'm always right because I don't always check.
When's the last time you remember being wrong when it comes to?
I don't remember being wrong.
Because I'm always right.
I'm always right. No, but actually I don't remember being wrong.
You start opening this.
You're starting with this?
Yeah, you gotta start with the shit one. Yeah.
Wasabi Kit Kats.
We're doing a mukbang.
With 3 items. The mini version.
It's a skinny girl dinner. Is that what it's called?
Skinny
Girl
Skinny
dinner?
Legend dinner.
Skinny. What's the actual thing? What's the skibbity toilet
There's
of it?
nothing with skinny inside. It's either Skinny
It's a-
Legend or it's girl dinner.
Girl dinner. We're doing a girl dinner. What does that mean?
Girl dinner, you can't understand. You're not a girl.
Oh.
Girl dinner is essentially just eating random shit.
Because I remember when we were working for the siren and I would like suck on honey. Remember that? And people would say like, "Oh my gosh, girl dinner." I'm like,
They would tell you that?
yeah. Yeah. And I always thought like,
That's weird.
I don't know why, but actually I know why, but like my immediate like thought would be like, oh, because it's like low cal or some shit like that. And I'm just like, nah, I just like sucking on honey.
Why did I do that? I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to open it like this.
Oh my god, dude, come
I'm
on.
trying it.
I want that shit laminated, and all you're doing is just ruining it.
No, I'm not ruining it. It's gonna be gorgeous.
Just
oh
like
no.
you. Oh, dude.
It's fine.
Just like you, just scratched, tarnished.
Anyways, there are people. So usually I won't necessarily be like with people for who it's like harder to read. I won't necessarily know exactly, like I won't be right now they're feeling pissed or like, oh, they're feeling uncomfortable or like, oh, I think in their head they're thinking this. I think it will mostly be like the vibe is changing and like on the spectrum of like positive to negative, or like, and then like there's like a y-axis where it's like, I don't know, like embarrassed, whatever.
Yeah, tension.
I'd be able to see like in which area, but I can't like pinpoint what's going on with them.
Right. I think
So
there's.
like I see the mood change, but I can't really know.
Is that innate or is that because you studied?
No, it's innate.
Well, yeah, that's a good starting point, I would say.
Because I feel like that's from. I don't know if who's like it's the whole like I don't know, wait. I don't know who is the cause of who, or who came first, or who's like they're probably both like influencing each other, but like the fact that I feel a lot of what other people feel is definitely connected to that.
right.
Maybe because I'll feel a lot from what people feel, I try to understand what they feel, or maybe like because I know so fast how they feel, then I feel it, or like because it's so obvious to me I feel that way. I don't know.
Right.
If
Little
if that
separate
makes
question,
sense.
but like you mentioned like you don't know who started it, where it began, but you kind of realize it when it's happening. Are you more like I realize, like I notice the consequences of things, or I could word this better. So it's very much like, oh shit, I acknowledge it is now awkward or it is tense at this moment. This is how it is. And you don't think like, okay, how do we get here? Or you don't realize how we get here?
No. What I meant is there is a relation between me being able to like read people and me feeling everything that people are feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't know who is first in a situation.
Oh.
Or like,
okay, I think I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Or like if one is the cause of the other, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Little side question, because I'm curious.
Side quest.
Look at you, you're such a gamer.
I haven't touched a thingy.
Yeah,
in
thingy.
Like 3 months.
What are they called? Gamer girl?
Controller.
Dude,
Is that it?
I almost doubted your gamer sense, but no, you're proper. All you're missing are those the headphones with the cat ears.
And the little microphone.
Yeah.
I will never be putting this on my head. Just
We'll see.
Dignity.
Maybe we'll start streaming once we get famous. No. We start streaming, and I'll buy you one of those. No. You can pretend to play games, own people online. My question was, do you think I'm difficult to read?
Yeah.
You're
quick. One of the people where I just get the vibe. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes, yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, I have no idea.
Like, you don't know how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking?
Both. Where it's more obvious, like, on where you're, like, I don't know what emotion you're feeling, but I know if it's, like, positive or negative.
Okay, like, you feel you feel my vibes. You very much feel my vibes.
That's right, yeah.
Do you think there's even a barrier to that? Like, do you think I'm more difficult to read on that front compared to, like, your average Joe? Or Jane?
Yeah.
Or
maybe. Judith?
I was looking for a ambiguous, gender neutral. Joe can be a girl's name too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah?
What do you mean?
I've known a Joe before.
No, it's...
Not J-O-E, but J-O. Short for Jocelyn or some shit. Josephine. No. Fine, J. Actually, I know more girls that are called J than I know guys. I only know myself. And I'm not even J.
But that's the thing, J is a nickname.
Yeah, but like, I've known girls that their name is like Jaden. What is the other one? There's definitely Jaden.
I feel like there's a lot more.
Some girl was just called J.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, J is for guys. Like, I know a lot more J's guys than girls. Actually, I don't know a girl called J.
I exclusively just know, like, other, if we're not talking about like online or anything like that. Hell, if we're talking about like monikers, like even Jules, like her online, like her Discord name is J-Shot. Just throwing that out there. Dox her Discord.
Also, J is an actual name.
Yeah.
And it's a boy's name.
I don't think.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think people.
J-A-Y?
Like, they just like slide out and it's just like, what are you gonna call this baby? J. It's like, are you sure you don't want something, more full? Be like, no, their nickname is gonna be their name. It's just through my experience. It very much puzzled me. I'm just like, identity crisis. I guess Jay's a girl's name.
Yanel is a boy's name for Hispanic people. Because girls would be Janelle.
Like what, a J? Like,
yeah.
In
Janelle is a very common name, but Yanel would be for guys.
None of those names are common. Ooh.
That's why I say Hispanic.
I'm a quarter Hispanic, like literally, like purebred.
I know nothing about Hispanic.
Dude.
Well, Latin, actually, I shouldn't say just Hispanic.
Hell yeah.
Latin.
Quiz me right now. Please don't ask me a question. The moment I say quiz me, I'm just like, actually, you know what? No, I'm confident. Quiz me.
What am I supposed to say right now?
Say something only a Hispanic person would know.
Okay. What's the difference between Hispanic and... I don't know that word in English.
Says a complete racial slur.
Time.
You know what we should do? You know what we're gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, next episode. Speak in an accent the entire time.
No.
What? Come on, that would be so fun.
We're gonna
offend an entire people. It's called infamy.
I actually love British accents.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna be Brits. Do you want one or absolutely not?
No, I really don't like that one.
Okay. Mukbang. Is it mukbang or mukbang?
I don't know, actually.
You're the Asian one.
But...
So, mukbang.
Mukbang.
It's supposed to be Korean, right?
That's
it sounds super Vietnamese.
I really don't know.
At least the way you're saying it.
I said it with an Indonesian pronunciation.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. As a cultural Filipino, I can say that. Taste test mukbang of we think is wasabi Kit Kat, and I will give.
No, I know it is. It really tastes.
Don't spoil it. You ruined it. I was gonna go in blind and be like, "Oh my god,
ginger.
I love."
Look at it. It looks like ginger as well.
Okay, first I got sniff it. So cringe. Mmm. Smells like milk.
Because it's white chocolate. No, you need to eat it. You're just
Actually, I really like the smell.
Does it smell like wasabi or like white chocolate?
No, it smells like milk, like very much like condensed milk.
Because it's white chocolate.
Your white chocolate.
Okay. the whole thing?
Oh, it's actually wasabi.
Yeah, it's not good. No. Do you like it?
Dude, I fuck with that.
Really?
I actually do.
No.
I was that weirdo that would get like you know those bags of like wasabi covered peas, like the dried wasabi covered peas.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. They destroy my everything, but I love those so much.
Because the thing it's not even spicy. It literally just is the taste of wasabi.
Yeah, it's the very unique. Unique is a compliment, whether you like it or not.
I'm not a fan of like the chocolate mixed with it. But don't eat the whole bit. Like eat the other one as well.
Okay.
Like, what if this one is your favorite?
Well, it's matcha. It definitely is.
It
tastes like a bee is stinging the inner part of your nose,
Yeah.
or it tastes like grass. I think most people are gonna take the grass.
Wait, matcha or wasabi?
Matcha tastes like grass.
What do you mean a bee stung your?
That's wasabi.
Oh. Wasabi is such a strange sensation.
Yeah.
I feel like you eat it for the feeling, not for the taste.
You ever do the? I think we talked about this, but the Hot Ones challenge.
No.
Did we talk about this at all? Like I mentioned that I've done it twice.
You told me you wanted to do it with us, but
yeah, I want to do it too, but one of them, I think the first one, someone brought wasabi, so we did like the levels, and then we just like put wasabi somewhere in the middle, and it was just terrible. So the thing with Hot Ones is it incrementally just like it's just like the inside of your mouth / the outside of your mouth becomes all like prickly and hot. Mm-hmm. But you like while you're going through the steps, it's just okay. You know, it's just an incrementation. It's just getting like it's. I just gotta focus on where the pain always is, and then you get the wasabi, and it's just attacking you on a different front, and you're just like you know.
I hate it.
Yeah. But there's something nice about it. It's just like spicy food. Like when you first start eating spicy food, it's just like this is just pain.
Oh,
and then
spicy, okay.
Yeah, and then like regular spicy.
Wasabi is not spicy. It's like it's something else.
It's pain. It's definitely like another.
I feel like it's going in my brain and it's stealing the information. It's like
it's a parasite.
It's hostile.
Yeah. It's actually a poison.
Hostile, like.
It definitely feels that way. It feels like a personal attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because you feel it. You feel the movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you feel like it's supposed to go down your throat, but it just like comes back up and like goes it tries to come out your nose.
Yeah, it's like it goes, you know exactly where it's going. And it's like, why are you there? You know what I mean? Like, you should be in my mouth or in my throat or something, and now it's in my brain somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very
I feel it more like very much in my nose, not in my brain. Like it's very much a nasal feeling.
Right.
Speaking of,
it goes like.
Oh really? It goes all over your face.
Yeah, that's why it's so sus. Like, what are you doing there?
You're just hypersensitive.
But also, I'm like very scared with spicy because like a lot of people died because of it.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people died because of like eating too spicy. Obviously, like something
I've never heard.
Really?
I've heard of people dying from the cinnamon challenge.
There was this challenge on TikTok, honestly, where it's like.
Number 2.
Eat the whole thing, please. That's like psychotic behavior.
I gotta eat like
bites.
I've got a big mouth. Well, no, I don't. But why would I take a bite?
Because that's insane. Like
it's called conviction. It's called dedication.
That's crazy.
I am committed.
I eat this in like 4 different bites.
Oh, it smells like condensed milk with a bit of grass. No, I'm gonna do it all at once. Fine, I'll do half.
Yeah.
Just to please your irrational thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That's... Wow! It tastes like matcha. And that was my review.
You're an idiot. Which one do you like better?
I think because I had this too many times, I actually... it's weird.
Because you've tasted the matcha Kit Kat already.
Yeah. That's like my go-to. Like, there's... Like, Japanese Kit Kats are fucking... There's like billions of flavors.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 30 different matcha types.
Oh yeah?
Maybe they just changed the label, but I feel like I see different ones.
I also had apple and ubi.
Ube?
I call it ubi.
Well, you're wrong.
Because it's with an I.
Oh, really?
Actually, it's Indonesian, so.
Okay.
But yeah, sweet potato.
Yeah, that's ube. But
In what language? English too?
I'm pretty sure either English or Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywho, maybe I'm lying. You'll never know. You won't look it up. You won't open another tab, Google it, or already have it planted in your brain because you're such a fucking nerd. Sorry, I got really upset with that. I'm sorry. I'll calm down.
Eat your second bar.
Yes, ma'am.
Apple was really, really like chemical. I didn't read it. And then if you want ube next time, we'll get ubi. You want ubi?
Yes, please.
Or wasabi?
Ube. I'm a big fan of purple yam.
Oh, yam.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. It's a different thing. It's with the actually is.
Sweet. Dude, I'm so confused. You said sweet potato first, didn't you?
What?
You said ubi is sweet potato?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I'm just like, oh, purple yam. In my head, I'm just like, I think ube. You know what? I'm not gonna spout out some propaganda. I'm gonna admit that I'm wrong. Okay, that's a lesson to be absorbed, which is the lesson I'm trying to indulge into you. I don't know. I should have just. You know what? I'm gonna do hard drugs, hard narcotics, so I can fall asleep properly.
Yeah.
For context,
How about
I stayed up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
How about somnifer?
Don't speak German with me.
Like I'm gonna break my earrings. So.
I think you're gonna break your phone before anything.
And then my fingers and my nail.
Dude, it's okay. Give up. For now.
It's not working.
Live to fight another day.
I hurt my nail.
Oh no.
Ew.
A nail. It has so much nerve endings in it.
Listen, you know how long it takes me to grow my nails? With the job I'm working? Ain't an easy task.
I believe you. That was Southern. That was actually Southern. Good job. Ain't an easy task. Yeah. Okay, don't. Never. I told you, don't talk to me like that. It's gonna awaken something within me. JK.
Yikes.
JK. Calm down, dude.
Why don't I have anything like pointy, spiky?
Can you use my sharp with? God damn it.
Okay.
It was such a good joke, but I fucking...
We need to end the conversation because my brain is not
same
working
here.
anymore.
Okay. Let's just... Okay, so this is behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel terrible that we have to structure this way and not be authentic, but I'm also like dying on the inside in all different ways. So let's just break this down. We talked about insecurities. Okay, I talked a bit about mine.
You talked mainly about yours, and then we very much surfaced mine.
Okay, I will take this feedback and do better next time. Okay, so yes, and then kind of sounds like it.
I don't care.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so
because mostly I talk. You asked me the questions and then.
No, that's not true. Especially like listening to myself, I do most of the talking.
Because.
And I'm not saying like, oh, you're not pulling. Like I don't mean like I just talk. Like I yap. Because I have a lot to say.
I know.
It's mainly not because I have a lot of topics. It's because I could say so many things about one little thing. And I don't think that's a problem. Actually, I think it could be a problem.
It was hard. This one was hard. It's still in there. Anyway, so yeah.
Okay, so we talked about insecurities. I glossed over yours mainly because I don't give a shit. And so how could we naturally segue out of that?
Oh.
Because we were in the thick of things. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
It can't be like I just said something super deep and you're just like I wasn't listening. And then, anyways, thank you for
Okay, you have to finish. We're gonna finish.
I just don't know what I was saying.
Oh. You seem to be distressed. Like
I don't know, and it scares me. I'm just like dude.
Oh no! How are you gonna edit this?
This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna be completely honest. Sorry, y'all, but I had 3 hours of sleep. I don't know why she's tired, but our minds is not working at as 100% as it usually is. So, deep apologies for the nonsensical malarkey that we're spewing out. See, I can say words like malarkey out of nowhere.
We could do part 2, insecurity part 2.
Yeah, I would like that. I just want to say sorry for the incoherence and the all over the place and the one reel I'm gonna make where it's just us being silent, waiting for me to speak.
You can do all the times I yawn.
You know I have an ego, right? I have feelings
it's
too.
Out of fatigue, not of boredom.
Oh, nice
Disclaimer.
save. Disclaimer, I bored her, and we're also tired. So, sorry! Are you sorry?
Sorry about that.
She's so sorry. She's so sorry she became Canadian. Just like her grand dream.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, even though this is going to come out.
Did you have a Valentine?
No.
I haven't been asking you any questions, so now I'm asking a question. Because one day I was saying like, okay, I won't ask any question, blah blah blah. You come to me when you want to talk about it, but you haven't. So.
I feel like to answer that question, I would have to give a bit more context.
You're allowed to say just yes or
no. No.
Okay.
But yeah, there's more to it. I don't want to end it on this. Okay, hold on. I think the point. This is so annoying. Because there
was no point. It was just like talking about our insecurities, about Jay's insecurities. I'm kidding.
Next time we're gonna talk about yours.
No, there's no ending.
I'm gonna make sure you cry next time. I think you need to feel something. Not empathically.
Oh my god! Listen, I never did it to you. I never showed you my PowerPoint of all the times I cried in 2024.
I don't want to see it.
Oh, it's grand.
You share things that make me secondhand sadness, and I feel terrible every single time. I'm just like, damn.
I cried how many times? 21 times, I think.
You think you'd be dehydrated by now?
I
had a good cry yesterday.
Oh.
I was cleaning my room.
Aww.
And as I was placing the cards, I was reading the cards.
Oh, no
And I was listening to a Spotify playlist of like songs to sing in the car, like very singable songs. And it was just 4 songs in a row, just about like, how the times are gone, how how something is missing, or how like super sad songs. And I'm just like, I put this chair, like everything was spread out all over the place. I had my books all over the floor, and I was like, just sitting on this chair, just in the middle of the room, like everything was spread out, and just like,
oh, no.
But it was a good one.
Very good.
Yeah. It was definitely like an overwhelming cry. It was like, it wasn't like necessarily like sad or happy. It was just like
nostalgia.
It was very much nostalgic. It was just like, And nostalgia, I think that's one of the biggest things. Sometimes, like, when I go back to my parents' place, and maybe you feel that way when you're going through your old stuff too. I'm like going through my closets. I have a bunch of boxes with just random shit, and I'm just like, and I'm going through it, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Because, especially because I could kind of like mirror, or like I'm immediately reminded of how I felt while this thing was happening, and especially when we go back to like, oh, you know, when we're teenagers, when we're kids, everything's so much more dramatized. Like, even though you can look back at it objectively and be like, oh, when I was like drawing this or when I was writing this, like I was so sad, but it was not a big deal. But in those moments when I was reading my captain's log, okay, not my diary, but my captain's log.
Is what we're gonna say.
Yes, because that's what it is. And I'm just like, I immediately brought back to how I was feeling in that moment. And even though objectively, like, there's that disconnect, that like logistically there's that disconnect, but I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
There's something so like, fucking hell, I'm starting to tear up just thinking about it. No. But there is something like is beautiful about that feeling, and I do cherish that a lot for the rare times that it happens, and I definitely felt that while reading some of these cards.
Because they're all objects that hold emotion, and you have all of these different emotion at once. It's very overwhelming, because it's also like, it's weird because it's I don't think our brain understands that we've lived all of these different moments, because we live like logically we live right now, and then we're like, oh, but I used to feel this before, I used to be this used to be my life, and so it's so confusing, and then so you have all of this at the same time, and it's so overwhelming, but like not in bad sense.
Nah, not necessarily in a bad way. It's weird because it really feels like you were a different person at that time, and it's like, but that was me, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel real. Like, it wasn't you.
I get a similar feeling when I'm like looking through, especially at night on the Belvedere, like atop the mountain, and I'm just like, at night you see all the lights of the buildings, just some of them are on, some of them are off, and I just have that feeling of like, and you see like the little cars just like going, and I just had that feeling of like, wow, like I think the logical thing that goes through my mind is like, every single one of these little lights, every single one of these cars, and the plethora of different people that I cannot see or acknowledge in this view have lived a just as complex, just as confusing, just as hurtful, just as beautiful, just as terrible like life as I have, but in their own very unique way. And that's, to me, that's super overwhelming. And you start thinking like every single person had lived such a complex life, and I'm just like, it's weird. Like, the immediate thing that comes to mind is beautiful, but it definitely doesn't feel that way. It feels like a burst of anxiety, but like, I don't know, I think there is still a warmth there. So yeah, so that was my cry sesh. Anything else?
I'm trying to think about something that makes sense with what I've said. because I haven't said a lot of things. Yeah. Insecurities are a work in progress.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk a bit more about this. God damn it. Oh, this is terrible. This is so bad. This is so bad. I'm having a mental breakdown right now. Would you like to be the web browser to my cookie? Because I would like to autofill you.
Oh my god, this is so bad.